Look at these guys. So the Royal Cache series, that was a series we started early on at the brewery, and it kind of was our first version of what eventually became the Canvas series. We wanted a place to play and to do R&D and a label that would allow us to kind of experiment. And so when we opened the brewery, after doing some research, a Royal Cache was kind of where the Egyptian tomb where they would keep all the treasure, basically. So we felt like this was our little stash of treasure. And so these were some of the first beers that came out of the sour program here at Wicked Weed. First being Divergence, which some of you guys remember. And Divergence, Brettanomyces fermented porter that we originally released on Draft at the Pub. And then it evolved into what is today Silencio. So the idea being a Brettanomyces fermented porter or sour porter with coffee. And focusing on more of an acid-forward coffee. So let's check it out and see how it's aged. So again, the base, very similar base to Black Angel, just dark sour, and then we put it into whiskey barrels. This was 100%, I think it was 100% second use barrels for this first brand. So yeah, this is what I remember. Just, oh man, great coffee notes to it. It's amazing how much coffee is intact in this beer for it being like 4 years old at this point. When beer just ages like that, it just blows my mind. This is rad. Like everybody should buy this bottle. It's not as much bourbon character now. Silencio has that vanilla note. That was really the thing we added to it because I felt like that's what tied the mouthfeel. I mean, you want that feeling of sweetness and creaminess in coffee beer. So we added that over time, but this is just really nice because it's out of the way. And so you're really just getting the clear expression of the Ethiopian coffee. Some subtle bourbon and roast character behind it, and some nice kind of coffee note. The coffee is kind of settled into more of an aged coffee, like it has more of a diner coffee almost character to it, which in a good way. So anyways, really, really interesting beer and one that's aged super well. Passiflora Blanc, guys. So another one of the Royal Cache. This one kind of, a very low alcohol wheat beer, 3.8%. If I remember correctly, it went into oak for a couple months with the Brett, and then we took it out, hit it with the passion fruit and hibiscus tea, and then went into bottle with it. So over time, you really have lost a lot of the color, but the idea with this beer was to be a kind of pinkish, really crushable, bright, easy beer to drink in the summer. Again, 3.8%. See how it aged. Well, the cool thing is, it's picked up some acidity over time, which I expected because just being in our program, even with the 100% Brett ferments, usually there's a small amount of bacterial pickup that happens just because it's in the same house as the rest of the sour beers. So, but it's very subtle. I mean, not at all a full puckering sour beer, but there's a nice bright acidity that I think is lending to it. You know what's funny? Just drinking this now, it really kind of takes me to Fita Firm. If you drank Fita Firm, it's that, but kind of hibiscus passion fruity opposed to the honeysuckle and citrus. So anyways, a really beautiful beer. It has held up amazingly well for only being 3.8%, and I think that goes to kind of the power of mixed culture fermentation and Brettanomyces and long-term aging. But anyways, check it out. It's going to be a great beer.